Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another 3-Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and in the next 3 minutes, we're going to take a look at Leviticus chapter 16, 17, and 18. Leviticus chapter 16, we get one of the most important rituals in the Israelite calendar. It's known as the Day of Atonement, or something you might be more familiar with, Yom Kippur. If you've ever heard of that, this is where that comes from. So once a year, the high priest is going to enter into the most holy of places, the Holy of Holies, to make atonement for the nation's sins. He's going to pay for their sins with a sacrifice. He sacrifices a bull for his own sins. Then 2 goats are chosen. One is sacrificed, and the other is called the scapegoat. This scapegoat is the one that has all the people's sins symbolically placed on it, and then it is sent out into the wilderness. This is an image that is going to kind of foreshadow Jesus, who is going to be the scapegoat, who's going to carry our sins away forever. Really cool imagery, one of the most important rituals that they do in Israelite history. Leviticus chapter 17, then, is going to focus on the sacredness of blood. God is going to say that life is in the blood, which is why sacrifices must be done in a very specific way. The Israelites are forbidden from eating blood because it belongs to God. Life belongs to God, blood belongs to God, therefore life and blood both belong to God. This chapter is going to demonstrate and highlight the seriousness of this atonement kind of deal, this sacrificial thing. Without the shedding of blood, sin is not covered. So you can't sacrifice an eggplant or some other thing because there's no blood. It's got to be a blood sacrifice. Okay, so this is going to point us again directly to Jesus, because Jesus couldn't just say, I forgive you. He had to die, right? His blood is going to bring us eternal forgiveness. Now, if we jump into chapter 18 of Leviticus, this is going to lay out the boundaries for different relationships, right? God is going to call on his people to a higher moral standard than the Egyptians or the Canaanites. He's going to forbid some pretty nasty things. He's going to forbid things like incest and adultery, homosexuality, and other practices that are common in a lot of these pagan cultures. The land itself, God says that the land itself will vomit out those who defile it. In other words, creation is going to rebel against those people who rebel against God in some of these very, very fundamental ways. Holiness isn't just about rituals. It's actually about the life that we live. All right, so these chapters all remind us that sin isn't just a mistake. It's not just an oops, I made a boo-boo or whatever. It's actually a very serious thing that separates us from God. That's it for today. Be well, friends.